Hello,
Good to see you.
everyone.
Okay. Hi,
Hey.
Punsak.
Thank you, Nazam. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for waiting.
Yes.
Okay, I think I can still see you without this. Yes, I can.
I like those. They look good.
Thank you. Let me put them back on. All right. Thank you, everyone. So let's get started, shall we?
Okay. We were talking a little bit about the topic of
Ah,
complacency already,
excellent.
because Firenz's beautiful cat woke him up at 2 in the morning. And oh, you're muted, Firenze.
My cat woke me up for the meeting.
Excellent. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Tell her
and
the
my
check. Tell her the check will come in the mail.
my no, it's very interesting because my cat, they never wakes me up.
Oh,
They are
really?
very respectful. Yeah,
Nice.
and today they wake me up, and I was, why did you wake me up? And I was, wow, this is Punsak. Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
So it worked.
it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen. I fell asleep sitting on my couch. Like
What was that, Sia?
I said, the same thing happened.
Listen.
I fell asleep sleeping on my couch, just sitting up. Fell asleep, and then
Ah,
all of a sudden I just woke up and I looked at my watch and it was
ah,
8:15. So I'm
okay.
supposed to be here too.
All right. Well, thank you, Nazam, for sending out those. Okay.
Yes, so it's perfect because our topic tonight is about complacency. And it sounds like the universe is making sure we're not complacent and and that we're showing up to do our work and to be in the field of teachings and discipline toward the path of awakening. So with that, I will hand it over to Punsak. I am walking and I'm on my mobile, so I won't be able to put into the chat the different ways, but hopefully everybody has them that we can contribute to these teachings through PayPal, Venmo, and through Patreon. Um, and yes, we're so looking forward to, actually, we'll just say specifically that these teachings are coming from Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and that, as the email was mentioning, complacency can be a very strong hindrance and pitfall along the path, especially given the last session's topic around enlightened nature, where we might just take for granted that we're enlightened beings and not have to do anything, when actually the paradox is we're enlightened and we are also not. So we must stay on top of it. So with that, I will pass it over to you, Punsak. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. So we'll begin the same way with a meditation, going to a talk, and then if we have time, I will try to leave time. I'm always making that promise, but never deliver on it. And I always say, well, maybe this time. So I'll say it again, maybe this time. Okay, you can ask questions, and we'll close again. We'll close with a meditation. All right. The reason for doing a meditation in the beginning is to make ourselves very present to what we're about to do, to be here very intentionally, and also to make sure that whatever was happening during the day will not interfere in the processing of what we're about to do. So that's the point of doing the meditation in the beginning. And at the end, the meditation is to definitely during this talk, you could say our own wisdom nature was in hyperdrive. We were making connections that were very beneficial. And these beneficial energies can be shared with others. So we share the merit energy that we together collect, and we dedicate it to whatever it is that you are sincerely, compassionately concerned about. So that's the purpose of the beginning and the ending meditation. So it doesn't matter If I'm doing some very exotic meditation here and there, just remember these are the purposes of them. Okay. All right. So let's do the meditation. Bring the intention to enter meditation. And as you consciously hold on to that intention to enter meditation, feel the different dimensions of you responding to this intention, to this call to enter our natural state. Listen to the intelligences within these various dimensions communicating to us as impulses, as insights. When we feel the sudden need to make an adjustment here and there, rejoice knowing that, a connection has been made, communication is taking place, the different parts of me are cooperating. And just hold, as far as a conscious decision is concerned, the sense of directing attention is concerned, just hold the intention, I want to enter meditation. And just feel and deliberately drop into your physical body, your physical dimension, and just listen while you hold on to that intention to enter our natural state. And when you feel the need or an impulse to make an adjustment with the legs, with the hands, with the back, know that it's communication taking place, that intelligence is communicating to you. And when that impulse comes, accept the advice, make the adjustments. Make sure the adjustments are giving you a sense of comfort, stability. Check the legs, make sure they are stable so that the downward energy collects within. Make sure the torso feels comfortable and as well as erect. So the upward energy can enter and be centralized. Make sure the shoulders are even, relaxed. The hands are in whatever posture you feel helps you to make contact with meditative state. Helps with the all moving wind energy to be centralized. Center the head and neck. So there's no conscious effort in holding them in place. They feel stable and it gives you a sense of centeredness to help the vitality energy to become centralized. Mouth, teeth, tongue resting in their natural places. Muscles of the face relax. Eyes. Resting in whatever posture is conducive for you. Close, slightly open, halfway open, fully open, looking up. Whatever gives you the sense that it helps to enter meditation. And once you finish scanning the body and you feel confident in the posture, release and go to the breath. As you breathe in, simply know I am breathing in. When you breathe out, simply know I am breathing out. No need to try to control the in-breath. No need to try to control the out-breath, making them longer or shorter. However they are behaving, just observe them. Hold a sense of curiosity about the breath so that the breath appears to you as a completely new entity you've never met before, and you're curious about it. So as you breathe out, do not anticipate breathing in. As you breathe in, do not anticipate breathing out. and feel the calm slowly arising physically in the body. And because you're aware of that calm physically present in the body, it begins to affect the breath itself, which is connecting to energy. And the breath begins to be calm also. Eventually, the breath gives you a sign that the different dimensions of you have aligned. Once you have that indication, now let us take 3 full conscious breaths to stabilize this integration and alignment. Gently, fully breathe in, hold, and as you hold it, strengthen your determination, clarify your intention, feel that you're in meditation, and release. And as you release, let yourself go, feel the letting go taking place physically, feel the letting go taking place energetically, feel the letting go taking place mentally, in all the different dimensions of the mind. Emotional, intellectual drives. Feel all that letting go, enhancing the sense of calm, enhancing the sense of pleasantness that is palpably present in the body. Now let's do a second full conscious breath. Feel where you've reached in terms of the new sense of calm, new sense of pleasantness. Try to stay there while you breathe in. And when you release the breath, try to go even deeper than that. Not forcing it to happen, but simply letting go and observe yourself going deeper into the calm and the rest. So gently, fully breathe in, hold, strengthening your determination, clarifying your intention, release. And as you release, feel yourself going even deeper into the calm, physically, energetically, mentally. Feel yourself going deeper into the pleasantness, energetically, physically, mentally. And at the end of the exhalation, leave the breath alone and just stay in that new level of calm, enjoying it, welcoming it, rejoicing in it. That new level of pleasantness, enjoying it, welcoming it. Now staying in that, now let's do the third full conscious breath. Gently, fully breathe in again. Hold. Release. And then let yourself go again. Feel yourself deliberately, palpably going deeper into the calm, physically, energetically, mentally, emotionally, going deeper into that pleasantness. And witness the signs of clarity and radiance dawning through inner sensations. Leave the breath alone. Whether it's visual for you, just acknowledge them. Tell yourself, my mind is now clearer. Notice the vividness of these sensations. If it's a sound, the vividness, the distinctiveness of it, the presentness of it. Rejoice, saying, my mind is now clearer, brighter. And within this meditative state, now that you are now abiding, you have access a more subtle, more powerful level of consciousness with which you can do more immediate transformations. Connect with that part of you that drives you to what people are calling spirituality. That part of you that seeks authentic way of being. Just think of it without forcing yourself to go any direction. Don't push away any experiences that may be present. And while you're holding on to that remembrance of that drive. Feel yourself connected to the pure expression of that. Someone, whether mythical, whether historical, whether present in your life, became for you a mirror of that, a reflection of that. So think of that person. If you have a teacher who does that for you, think of the teacher. And as you are thinking of them, feel what they're connecting you to, what they're reminding you of. And express gratitude. And as you're expressing the gratitude, let go. Trust. Let yourself go deeper into the calm, deeper into the pleasantness, deeper into the clarity, deeper into the radiance. Express a sense of trust. Remember, whenever you relied on that inner voice that guided you, it always guided you correctly, rightly, perfectly. But because of the avalanche of misinformation, we sometimes lose track of that, lose contact, feel that we lost contact with that. And we don't know which is the voice anymore. But remember those times when that voice guided you correctly, when you made that contact, and have that sense of trust, extend it towards it, and relax. And feel yourself going deeper into calm, deeper into pleasantness, deeper into clarity, deeper into radiance. And holding both vision in mind and those times when you were rightly guided, where somehow you find the resources that you thought you had no connection, no way of finding, but you somehow found the resources you need, the guidance you needed, and know that it will continue. And with that, express gratitude. And as you're expressing gratitude, relax, let yourself go deeper into calm, deeper into pleasantness. Deeper into luminosity. So notice when you feel yourself stopping whatever it is that you are unconsciously engaging in, and you're relaxing, when you stop trying to make reality into something, when you relax, what replaces that striving is a deeper calm, a deeper joy, a greater sense of clarity, a greater sense of being luminous and bright, where your attention feels more like it is no longer less and less subject to being stolen by outer external factors. So take that for what it means. When the experience when you abide in non-striving is the fulfillment of what you are seeking to, what your striving is seeking. But the striving takes you further and further away with the promise of it in being the future. But when you stop striving, you begin to actually fulfill what you're striving to fulfill. And what is naturally present is what you're looking for. The peace is already there, waiting for you. The joy is already there, waiting for you. The non-confusion, the clarity, the brightness, the aliveness is already there waiting for you. And the sense of self-sovereignty is there waiting for you. So let yourself stop striving, trusting what is naturally occurring when you're just relaxing. Encouraging it by taking joy, rejoicing in it. Feeling ready to make the most of this session. Feel a sense of readiness, a sense of openness. Your mind is open, your heart is open. And that in that part of you that is the wisdom checker, the truth checker. Feel a sense of being strongly connected to it. It's right there, right next to you. It is you, it is right next to you. And feeling ready. Now that presence, that was a mirror, that was a reflection of what you are seeking from the depth of your being. That appearance now is going to give you a gift. That bright presence comes to the crown of your head, becomes pure light, enters you through the crown of your head, descending through the central channel, entering your heart center, and then radiates light throughout your being. And you feel your whole being completely filled with light, transformed into light. And it's going to take you on a journey. It's going to take you to a place you've never been before, to a site you've never seen before. So when you see absolutely nothing, don't try to see something. Just keep relaxing, like adjusting your senses to a darkened room when you first enter it. Just relax. 1, 2, 3, the light that you became completely absorbs into pure non-appearance. Okay, get ready to come out of the meditation, feeling ready. Go back to feeling just the space of the meditation, feeling the calm, the pleasantness, feeling the sense of clarity and radiance, feeling your attention being collected. And with the intention to come out, take a nice deep breath, gently, fully breathe in. Release. And as you release, deliberately, consciously become aware of your immediate surroundings. Be aware of the surroundings from the sense of touch, knowing the temperature, the feel of your clothing, your seat, hearing the different sounds, and deliberately noticing that's color, that's shape, that's light, that's shadow. Okay. I don't know if you're hearing Siri keep interrupting, saying, I don't understand what you're saying. I wasn't talking to Siri, but for some reason, Siri keeps listening to me and keeps interrupting and saying, I don't understand what you're saying. Okay. All right. Now you're back. The reason I thought about the reason for the topic of complacency, it seems to be connected to a certain behavior, a certain frame of state of, well, certain things that some people say who have an idea about enlightened nature. When you hear, for example, the Zen saying about when you meet the Buddha, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. Have you heard that? Supposedly, it's saying that if enlightenment is constantly sought outside of you, stop it. Okay, enlightenment is supposed to be sought from within. So that's what it means if you meet the Buddha on the road. Doesn't mean go around with your shotgun, and if you see somebody, well, that's a Buddha. Okay, the Zen teacher told me to shoot. Okay, and all that is about what we started to talk about last time, about how wonderful it is that the phrase sort of misleads us. We have an enlightened nature. When we think that we have an enlightened nature, like for example, you say, I have such and such, then you say, oh, where is it? Where's the thing that I have? So immediately you're thinking that very me has it, and it's away from that very me that has it. Like, I have a pair of glasses, right? Yes, I tell myself it's mine. I can do whatever I want with it, but it's still something that's away from me, something that I have to go look for. So when we hear the expression, we have an enlightened nature, immediately there's a sense of connection, disconnection. And of course, we are given this beautiful gift of knowing that we have an enlightened nature, so that we can no longer be discouraged, so that we can never lose it. It is not something that if you don't if you don't use it at the right time, it's not like an opportunity that you can lose. Like someone has an opportunity for you to do something or that you really wanted to do, but you missed your chance and the opportunity is gone. It's not like that. But when we are told we have an enlightened nature, because of the way we naturally respond to that expression, I have something, we will naturally respond to that same expression in the same way. But rather, think of it that you are an expression of your enlightened nature. It's not that your enlightened nature is hidden somewhere, waiting for you to finally start making use of it. You are already making use of it. Unfortunately, if you're like me, I'm creating samsara with it. It's not that in order for me to create samsara, I need some fundamental thing that is different than some fundamental thing that I will use to create some sort of nirvanic existence. It is still that enlightened nature. Okay. And there are expressions that are given in when you start to study Tantra that sort of make that. The closest thing to Tantra that makes that a similar statement is when you are studying middle way philosophy. When you're studying the true nature of reality from a very sophisticated way, and you come to some sort of what do you call that? So as to not misguide you, you come up to a principle, right? That principle is responsible for reality. However, reality is experienced, it is still that same principle. Whether reality is experienced as a wonderful nirvanic experience, or whether reality is experienced as a limited suffering experience. It is the same principle that is being, you could say that is being used. It is the same. It is that same fundamental principle that allows for a nirvanic experience. It is that same fundamental principle that allows for a samsaric experience. Okay, and slowly we hear such terms as nirvana and samsara are one and the same, and it could be very misleading. When they say they are one and the same, that means they arise from the same principle. And what is that principle that they both arise out of? They arise out of, for a very, I will give you a very sterile term to express it. They arise out of interdependence. Okay? And I will give you a more experiential term that expresses it. They both arise, and don't get hung up on our present conceptual experience of it, but rather go to the deeper level, the instinctual level of understanding. Okay, so the term that is more experiential rather than just a sterile term that helps explain it, that term, remember, it is more experiential. So that term, instead of saying they all that principle of interdependence, it is the principle of love. And I'm not trying to be poetic. I'm being as I'm as scientific as any physicist when I say that. Okay, I'm not trying to be nice. I'm not trying to describe the universe in a poetic way that could be useless. Okay, what I'm saying is pure science, hardcore science. The fundamental principle that allows for reality to be either a nirvanic experience or a samsaric experience. It is the principle is love. You could say existing itself is love. That's what they're one and the same thing. Existing and love, they're one and the same thing. Okay. So when we say that nirvana and samsara are one and the same, they're not saying that conceptually they are the same experience, but rather the fundamental principle that makes either one possible is they come from the same principle. They come from the same fundamental principle. And that fundamental principle is the fundamental principle of love. Now, because of the numerous experiences and layers of conceptuality that we put on the term love, then it might become, we may get stuck with one of our conceptual understanding of that principle. So think of these terms as being one and the same, fundamentally speaking. True freedom, interbeing, love, pure, unadulterated awareness. Think of all these things as simply being terms that we are trying to use to express something that is, in essence, cannot be contained by any expression. But when we use the language, when we are trying to communicate with each other, we have to use something. So we use those expressions. And we use those expressions because there's something about those expressions that expresses that principle. But they don't necessarily themselves completely cover that principle. That's why the best representation of that is pure space. Not that space itself as we know it is that, but the way we experience it, it is the closest to our experience to what that could be. Just like pure space has, imagine your awareness, just pure awareness without anything in it, without anything being aware of. Just pure awareness itself, like space, right? Without any concepts, without any ideas, without any experience, just pure awareness itself. Okay. So it is very similar to pure space. But unlike pure space, that fundamental principle that we can now call pure awareness, and experientially, if we begin to like a layer, adding a layer, a tiny layer of conceptuality from what we experience of love, you can say it is love. In itself is neither nirvana and it is neither samsara. That's why they say, sometimes they say the Buddhas do not abide in nirvana. Okay, nirvana is a nice place. It's one of the best places to go visit. Okay, but Buddhas do not abide there because the Buddhas, a fully enlightened being, transcends that, transcends those expressions. Okay, they abide. You could say if they abide in something, they abide in just that pure space, and that pure space. In that pure space, it's what would you call it? I'm going to try to use an expression to get to as close to it as possible to express it. It is spontaneous, luminous presence. I just made that up, and I think it sounds good. Spontaneous, luminous presence. Okay? So that state itself, spontaneous, luminous presence, that is that fundamental nature that is our enlightened, that we refer to as the enlightened nature. It is that fundamental, luminous, spontaneous, luminous presence that we have molded into samsaric existence. So when they say there's no need to look outside, it is this very appearance experience that we call samsara. It is this itself It's like imagine a clay pot, right? Where it's ugly. It's not it didn't come out exactly the way you wanted it. And if you want to change it, the material for you to change it is already there. You just have to reshape that clay into a different pot, a different form, a different design that you will like. So you don't completely toss it aside and get a new clay. Okay, so you're enlightened. In that sense, that's when they say you're enlightened already. But they don't mean that your experience is what you call an enlightened experience, but rather the raw material to really exist as a spontaneously luminous present being is already that is what you already are. And when you are now relating from that abiding, then you appear as what other people call enlightened. You appear as what other people observing you say, oh, your way of relating is loving. The way of relating is compassionate. From within that, there is no intention. Let me take my love. Let me go into my immeasurable closet and pull out love and put it on so I can show you. Or let me take compassion from my fundamental nature, put it on so I can be compassionate. Or let me put on my any of the so-called 10 powers of an enlightened being. Let me look my capacity to know exactly what you're going through, what your suffering is, to know it. Let me put that capacity on, and then no. But rather, just abiding in that fundamental, when you are consciously abiding in that fundamental state, then however you relate, it will be an enlightened way of relating. You're not seeking to be loving. You have no choice but to be loving. Because that's the only way you from that perspective, that's the only way you know how to relate. You're not seeking to be compassionate. That is your spontaneous response into relating with others. You're not seeking to know things. You're not trying to calculate, oh, let me see now, if I just subtract and then add and then raise the power of, then this will be, and then somehow you're able to do it faster. No, you're not seeking that. Just if that's what is necessary, you just spontaneously have the information, not because you're seeking it, but it is what is necessary, it is what is needed, because you are abiding in that place. And this is why, from what we understand as love, we said that fundamental place, that fundamental state is itself love, because it naturally responds, spontaneously responds from what we understand to be love. It seeks to connect what appears as other to be happy, to abide in happiness, to abide in contentment. It spontaneously responds in such a way that when there is suffering, it seeks to adjust it. Not because it's saying, oh, there's suffering there, let me go adjust it. You have no, and it's not like you're some slave to some sort of cosmic system and you're being dragged here and there to go help them, go help this, and you rather would stay in your little garden, and then somehow the cosmos throws you into a situation to, oh, I don't want to go save those beings on Earth anymore. They're so stubborn. There's no such thing, okay? It's not like you're being forced to do anything. It's just your spontaneous way of being. That's why throw the spontaneity in there. So in a way, explaining a way of understanding what it means to be enlightened, to have an enlightened nature. Okay. Yes, it is this very samsaric appearing experience, which is itself the enlightened nature. The Tathagata Garbha, the Buddha nature, okay, that you hear that you have. And then you're thinking, okay, let me go into a meditation so I could go find it. The you that is looking for the Buddha nature is the Buddha nature, looking for Buddha nature. The you that is looking for Buddha nature is the Buddha nature. So it's not something for you to go that is hiding from you, that is somehow shy, and it's hiding from you, and it goes into the tiniest part of you to make it difficult for you to find. Okay. It is not hidden in some deep level of consciousness. All the layers of consciousness is the Buddha nature. All the layers of experience is the Tathagata Garbha, is the Buddha nature. So you do not have Buddha nature, you are Buddha nature. Okay? Now, what are you going to do with it? Right now, and don't ask the question of time, okay? Imagine an existence where there is no such thing as time, okay? There's no such thing as, okay, now let me start. Don't think about that. All these things are just pure concepts, okay? Going beyond concepts, okay? Time itself is conceptual, okay? So don't think of, well, if I abide in my nature, when did I start my samsara? Okay, let me somewhat try to put it in a conceptual way. As if that is possible, as soon as you started your samsara, it went back to endless time. It went back to a beginningless time, and it can go into endless time. Okay? So if for some reason you can't get time out of your conceptualization in order for you to grasp something, you want to know when your samsara started. As soon as your samsara started, there was endless backward time and possibility of endless forward time. Okay? And as soon as you come out of samsara, time is irrelevant. Okay? And someone can ask, can I be born back in time? Can I reincarnate back in time? Well, if you're in samsara, no. But the idea, but from the pre-samsaric, but there's no such thing as pre-samsara, okay? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as pre-samsara. It doesn't exist. But because some of us are stuck as the only way for us to take on certain concepts, it must be clothed in some sort of concept so that we can see it. Like space, let's say, for example, that space that you're experiencing in the meditation, where there was no experience whatsoever. If you allowed yourself to be absorbed in that and enter into a non-conceptual mind, you would have an experience, but it would be a non-conceptual experience. And when you return from that, when you would have returned from that, then space would have a deep meaning for you. It's like it would be like the portrait of your lover, right? the light and shadows that is on that piece of paper, or nowadays that light that's on the screen, is a reminder of something, but it's not the actual person. So space becomes like that for you, would become like that for you. Okay. Okay. All right. So what was I going with that? So since this is itself, since you are Buddha nature, you do not have Buddha nature, but you are Buddha nature. So then finally the topic, complacency. Now we have 5 minutes left. And it comes from a sense, probably a sense of being overwhelmed, that there is a sense of the path appearing to be overwhelming to us. Like we feel the weight of millions of lives on our shoulder. The effort of millions of lives, and then we are looking at what we have. Wait a minute, this is not anywhere close to where I really want to be. And you don't want to completely be discouraged, and you want to have a sense of wanting to take a rest from this millions of lives of effort in seeking the meaningful. So when you come across this teaching, then especially when life gives you things that you feel powerless to do anything about, you feel powerless. You feel that you have the compassion, you have the concern, and it seems to be, and this is going to be a misspoke. I can say that it's a misspoke, or should I say it somewhere else, some other way? It's okay. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be a misspoke, a misrepresentation, a misspoke. Okay, I'm gonna say something, but it's gonna not represent exactly the truth. Okay, so we tell ourselves, all I have is the compassion, as though it's not as though it is. Sometimes it feels like a weight. Why should I feel concern and not at the same time feel the power to do something about the concern? So the concern itself feels like a burden. The concern itself feels itself to be power less. And we don't want to witness ourselves having that concern and at the same time being powerless. And because we are witnessing that I'm not able to find the resources to address this concern, then a way of sort of like alleviating our this or I guess this anxiety, this experience that comes up as a result of this experience, this anxiety, this discomfort. The way to alleviate this discomfort is to say, oh, everything is already enlightened. Everybody's already enlightened. I don't have to do anything. Or that person who's in deep trouble, causing that other person to be to suffer, and then no matter how I with my resources intervene, it's not doing anything. Oh, they're already enlightened, so I don't have to do anything. And that sort of gives us a sense of that sense of powerlessness that I have, that the discomfort That's a way of getting rid of that discomfort. Okay. But rather, here's a radical way of addressing of that discomfort. That discomfort is a spiritual sign. That discomfort is an indication of your spiritual power. Yes, you have millions of lives of effort. And it's because of these millions of lives of effort that you're able to have this kind of a concern, that you're able to have this kind of discomfort for not being able to do something for a specific situation. It is a sign of you that you have evolved. And the way for you to address that is not to go into complacency, but rather to tell yourself, indeed, my inability to immediately address this is what I have molded my Buddha nature to be. Now that I've seen the cup, that I have molded the clay of my fundamental nature to be, and I don't like it, I have to take that same fundamental nature, I have to take that same clay and remold it into, when that situation comes, compassion is calling me, I also have the resources to address it in a way that I help those reconnect to their fundamental nature, make them go closer to their fundamental nature so that they're suffering less. Okay. So the complacency that you may feel may be not the same kind of complacency of someone who's completely not interested. Someone who could be even who doesn't have those millions of lives of spiritual effort in their belt. Why is it in their belt? I don't think I can hold anything in my belt, but for some reason there's that expression in holding it in your belt. Okay, so you have this with you, and when you find yourself not having the immediate capacity, the immediate resources to help address the concern of your compassion, let that be a reminder to you, this is a sign that I have strayed further away from my true nature, and let me make effort to return to my true nature, where you will experience spontaneous, luminous presence, or without even the intention to go help, without looking into your enlightened bag to say, oh, they're suffering. Let me see what you need, aspirin or a Bayer, or let me see what I got. No, there's not this thing happening. An enlightened being is not someone with a immeasurable a bag that contains an infinite amount of things in it. Okay, I mean, can you imagine? Now you're enlightened. Here's your bag of infinite things. Carry it with you wherever you go. And this enlightened being is better than enlightened being because this enlightened being is more organized with their infinite things. They're able to get to it faster than that one. Okay. No wonder you don't want to be enlightened. Who wants to go around carrying a bag of infinite things? But what do you want to get? Okay. Wait, let me wait for me. I'm looking. Okay. But rather abiding in that spontaneous being. That is your authentic being, spontaneity. Okay, that is your authentic way of being. And we've taken that because it is limitless. we can make it have the experience of having limitations. So the power, let me start the other way. Witnessing yourself not having power is a sign of your tremendous power. You are so powerful, you can make yourself appear to have no power. That's how powerful you are. Okay. Can you imagine water making itself into something other than water? If it could. I mean, it can make itself into ice, it can make itself, but it's still water. Okay. But you are completely powerful. And as a sign of the limitlessness of your power is to make yourself appear to have no power. As a sign of your limitlessness power, you make yourself appear to be a tiny dot on a tiny dot in the middle of a tiny dot, in the middle of a vastness, where you say, oh my goodness, it would take forever to get over there. All that is a sign of your own power. There is no over there at your most fundamental nature. You're already there if you want to. Okay. Or if you want to witness, use your power to see, I'd like to experience traveling for a very, 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 very long time. Okay. And that's within your power to do so. So when you witness yourself not having power, it's a sign of your power. And tell yourself, oh, look at this not having power. Oh, okay. Go back into the what's that thing called? What's that thing called? The wheel. Go back on the powder's wheel and reshape this experience so that now I see myself having power. Okay. All right. So the main point is, we all know what complacency is. It is a kind of a discouragement without the heaviness of discouragement. And it's a kind of at the deepest level, it is it's an acceptance of powerlessness. Okay. But remember, when you are hearing and witnessing this suffering and that suffering and this thing, then that thing going on, it doesn't matter whether your interpretation of it is the right interpretation or the wrong interpretation. But the thing is, how do you feel in response to it? And you would prefer to have a different, more positive response. Then that capacity to respond is within. All you have to do is take that same Buddha nature and remold it. Okay. And lastly, the three bodies of the Buddha. What does this got to do with? Is that a new topic? No, it's not. Dharmakaya, which is what is referred to as the mind expression of enlightenment. Sambhogakaya, which is the speech or energy expression of enlightenment. And Nimanakaya, which is the appearance expression of enlightenment. The Nimanakaya, the appearance expressions of enlightenment, all these different kinds of appearances, right? Appear as a whatever, a friend, a family member. You could even appear as let me give it a quick example of how you, when you're enlightened, you're beyond time. Okay. Right now, if I'm enlightened, I see, if I am born as your grandfather, I would help you. And then I would, in a realistic time reference, even though I'm doing it from now, from what appears to be now, I make myself into your grandfather. And then all the natural progressions of time goes by, and here's the present moment, and then the change that would have affected you, because if the study with your grandfather would now be present. I just thought I'd throw that in there, but I have no idea why. Okay, Dhammakaya. So Nimanakaya is like that. Okay, so that's Nimanakaya, appearances, and also not bound by time. So I can, as an enlightened being, you can be born as my grandfather from now. Okay. Now the Dhammakaya. What is the Dhammakaya? This is where I wanted to get to. The Dhammakaya is when you are consciously abiding in your fundamental nature. That is Dhammakaya. When you are consciously abiding in your fundamental nature, that is Dhammakaya. Okay. It's not all the Buddhas come and say, okay, now you're a Buddha, you gotta know this. Here's a library of things for you to know. And another one say, okay, this is this library of things for you to know. You got to know it fast because you're going to become a Buddha in a few seconds. It's not like that, okay? But abiding in that spontaneous, luminous space, that's the Dhammakaya. And everything, the Nimanakayas, the Sambhogakayas, your appearances, the decision to be your grandfather is not something I say, oh, let me be born as your grandfather, and then, no, it's just spontaneous. So knowing this, when you find yourself not abiding in your consciously abiding in your fundamental nature, and you don't see yourself doing something about it, you're being complacent. Okay? If you're not consciously aware of the enlightened nature, you are being complacent. And because you're being complacent, now I can use that psychological, what would you call it? I call it psychological torture. And I always spoken against it, but I'm going to use it now because now it's just skillful means. Well, should I say it? Some of you might become very depressed after hearing that. But let me tell you this. Let me reiterate before I say it. Whenever you find yourself at a moment and you have sincere concern, and yet at the same time you find yourself not having the resources to address the concern immediately, rather than become complacent, rather than become discouraged, let it instead energize you. I have molded my Buddha nature into this hope, into this powerlessness. That's my power to do so. Now I'm going to mold it into being able to do something about this. Okay? And then do something, whatever it is that you know. It doesn't mean that solve the problem right away. I mean, do something so that when you encounter this in some future time, you will have the resources as well as the concern. And that should be the spontaneous, train yourself for that to be your spontaneous reaction. Okay? Now that I've prepared you, here's a psychological torture. I'll say it like this instead. It is because I am complacent that the people I love are suffering. And this shouldn't be something for me to become depressed about, but rather something to encourage me to stop being complacent. I have whatever many lives of effort that has brought me into this consciousness, into this awareness, where I can know, wait a minute, there is something called fundamental Buddha nature. And instinctively, I know it to be true. The other people who are suffering, they've never heard of such term. So how can they even make effort towards that? But I know. So I shouldn't waste this understanding that I have by being complacent. Remember, once you become enlightened, time is nothing. Okay? You put in the effort, or you stop putting effort in stopping yourself, and then you find yourself enlightened 1,000,000 years from now, you can come back and see yourself taking care of the situation. Okay? So don't worry about that. All right? All right. That's it. I hope, well, was that a good way to end with the psychological torture? Remember, this is Buddha nature already. I don't have to go buy it. It doesn't cost any effort. Okay. And it's not something deeply hidden somewhere that I have to dig to finally find. Okay. And space is a very good sign, is a very good reflector, a very good picture to help you make that connection. All right, now I think we have a few moments for questions.
There's something I would like to, which is not clear for me.
Okay.
Do we say, you say, I am Buddha nature because I'm intrinsically Buddha nature, or is it something we say because it will help us to become enlightened?
No, it is what you intrinsically are.
Okay.
Think of it this way in the, what's that branch of science called? The one that says that we are star, what's it? We are star stuff? Who says that? Physicists? Biologists?
Cosmologists?
Cosmologists? Yeah, one of those scientists guys, they say we are star stuff.
We're made of the stars.
Yeah, it's not like the stars look at us and say, oh, let me give you a little bit of myself. That the self that we are, the matter that we are, is star stuff itself. So in that same way, Ferenc, how are you experiencing Ferencness? It is Buddha nature.
Yeah.
When you become enlightened, when you know it experientially that you are Buddha nature. That's when you become enlightened. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. No other questions? Yes.
Hey, Lama Punzak, good one.
Oh.
I'm sorry I arrived a bit late, so you might have addressed this earlier on in the talk. But when you said that when you do become enlightened, you be able to come back and solve the problem if you can't solve it now.
Yeah, if you want to.
My immediate response was I had this like kind of like eye rolling moment.
Yeah, of course.
So I wanted to ask if there's any other way to, for the mind that refuses to believe that that's possible. Is there any other way to interpret that?
Okay. Yeah,
rather
the other
than
way.
read it forward?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Now, the thing is, when we mold Buddha nature into an experience, what we are molding is reality itself. And when I say what we are molding is reality itself, I mean, it is the reality experience. Okay? When I am witnessing myself concerned about something and not having the ability or the resources to address it, that is a reality. And that is a reality that I have molded my Buddha nature to experience as real. And when I say to experience as real, I don't want to make it sound as if I'm dreaming in my head that this reality is happening, but it's not really happening. But rather, this is the reality. This is the reality. I am now not able to address this concern in a way that would be satisfying way of addressing a concern. That is my reality at this very moment. What can I do about it? The only thing you can do about it is to make yourself no longer having to have this kind of experience as your reality. Because it's not that to think, oh, when I become enlightened 1 million trillion years from now, I'll come back and then I'll fix it. It's okay. No, right now, the suffering that they're going through is real. And if it's going to take 1 million years for you to get to be enlightened and then come back, and then they will still be having 1 million years of suffering to go through. That is real. So in terms of the realness of their experience, of their suffering, is that you somehow have this knowledge about Buddha nature, that there is a transformation of the very matter of your life. By matter of your life, I mean everything that makes you. Okay, the thing that can be subtracted, the thing that can be added, that very reality that is you, it can be molded in such a way that when you encounter concern, you also have the capacity to do something about it. And it will be as real as your capacity to do nothing about it. Yes.
There are some people like we see some really tough political people. They look like they are totally disconnected from love. It's really terrifying. So that's also a shape that Buddha nature.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I don't think of Buddha nature as already paradise, but rather that which can be paradise.
Okay.
Because
Which that can be anything.
yeah, in itself, it is neither, it's beyond paradise, it's beyond samsara, it's beyond those things in itself.
Hmm. It's, in a way, it's very scary.
If the fear will make you no longer complacent, then good. If the fear is going to make you, oh my goodness, this is too much, I don't think I can do anything about it, then I guess
Got it.
yeah, the message didn't go through.
I have to use everything.
Yeah, remember every experience that you have, that's what you have molded, something that has infinite expressions, that can have infinite expression, and that's what you have molded it into. But when you have molded into that, doesn't mean it doesn't become fixedly that moving forward. It is still infinite possibility.
Thank you.
So my question is, Punsuk.
Yes.
So is the complacentness is when, if I understood what you've been saying, when you know that you have this enlightenment, or you know that this situation is happening and you don't react to it, or don't use it or utilize it. So is that the part of being complacent?
Yeah, in a way, yes, but not entirely. So you encounter a situation and you may not have all the resources to address the situation. And even when you're trying, you find yourself lacking resources to be able to address it sufficiently. This may make one become discouraged. And when a similar situation comes in the future, one does, because of the experience of what we call ourselves a failure, we don't even want to try to do anything about it maybe in the future.
Okay.
Right? But in the meantime, when we are not when we're not existing in a way where we have those that capacity, and we're not trying to make sure that we have that capacity, we are being complacent.
Okay.
But being complacent is giving up our capacity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Remember that power I told you about? We are such powerful beings that we make ourselves appear not to be powerful.
Mm.
And I'm not the one who said it. Manjushri said it. Now you will believe it because I said Manjushri said it?
Yes, please.
It's in the Ratnakuttara Sutra, where Manjushri is saying, oh my goodness, samsaric being, there's no one more courageous than them. To have the nature of bliss and yet to abide in suffering.
Mm.
And that bliss thing, if you're confused about that, I guess we can talk about that in some future thing. Okay. Those innate qualities that are present in like bliss, freedom, those kinds of qualities, aware of that is also Buddha nature. Now, how do we explain that with, wait a minute, what about those sufferings? Am I supposed to be happy about seeing suffering? Is that how I understand it? That could be another topic. Okay.
Buddha nature.
Yes, Buddha nature. All right, then. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll let you go for the evening. Until next time. So let's do our closing meditation, which is dedication. So think of feel the merit energy that we together collected, and then let us together direct that merit energy towards addressing a sincere concern that we have. Okay. And the meditation that we're going to do is basically bringing into consciousness the sense of that merit energy. Okay. All right. Okay. So have the intention of going into meditation. And as soon as you make the intention of going into meditation, begin to feel physically, energetically, mentally, a taste of meditation beginning to be present. And as soon as you are becoming aware of that, surrender to it physically by relaxing. Surrender to it energetically by not striving. Surrender to it mentally by resting in that corner where you feel peace. To help stabilize it, we'll do just one conscious deep breath. With that intention, gently, fully breathe in. Hold it, strengthening that intention, feeling the space. Release. And as you release, feel yourself surrendering more and more physically, surrendering more and more energetically, surrendering more and more mentally into that space of peace, joy. Now think of us as one entity made up of individuals sitting in a circle. No matter where you are, feel the presence of everyone else in your space, sitting in a circle with you. That sense of oneness that we feel, not as a physical oneness, but the same way that there's one concern that you have for your left arm that you have for your right arm. And your right arm doesn't think of, let me help the left arm, but let me help myself when the left arm needs help. So in that same way, have that kind of way of feeling for each other. That same readiness to spontaneously respond to help one another. And that connection to that interbeing begin to appear physically in the center of our circle like a bright presence. And as that sense of oneness, that sense of immediate concern for one another equal to our own concern for our own selves gets stronger and stronger, and our sense of me and other begins to melt more and more or become less and less important. Then that bright presence in the center begins to grow and grow and grow. And as it grows, as a sign of our inner realization, it absorbs every appearance into itself. Everyone is now absorbed into just an appearance of a one bright presence. It continues to expand, absorbing everything within it. Your neighbors, your neighborhood, your city, your country, the entire world. And you feel that sense of readiness, that oneness. What happens to the trees is what's happening to you. What's happening to the sky is what's happening to you. What's happening to the ocean is what's happening to you. In the same way you feel immediate concern for the right hand to go help the left, you feel that same spontaneous readiness to help the ocean, to help the animals, to help your neighbor, to help the Republicans, to help the Democrats, to help the liberals. It's one body. Now, that brightness, which has enveloped all appearances into itself, and you feel that loving connection without necessarily having to see someone that you're connected to. No longer need this appearance of a ball of light. It begins to shrink. The appearance is shrinking, but the conviction and that sense of oneness is strengthening. And it continues to shrink until it becomes again the same size of that first appearance of that ball of light in the center of our circle. And it has a gift for us if we allow ourselves to accept it. It's going to take us on a journey to this non-conceptual space where we can taste our fundamental nature, pure freedom, pure love, pure spontaneous, luminous presence. Slowly, it begins to shrink, disappearing, basically dissolving into space. And when you see the space, and you don't have some sort of incredible experience that is completely beyond conceptualization, keep telling yourself this very non-appearance is a door to something fundamental, and keep relaxing. You have the pure substance of reality. Let's mold it consciously. So where you sit, see a light, and let the light becomes exactly who you are. This is it. You don't have to appear with 10,000 arms. This is it. This is the new Manakaya. So make the determination to relate from that space. So love becomes spontaneous, compassion becomes spontaneous, wisdom becomes spontaneous. Having touched that, feel the merit energy, and whatever sincere, compassionate concern you have, dedicate this merit energy to address that concern. Okay, get ready to come out of the meditation. Take a nice deep breath. Release. And as you release it, deliberately, consciously become aware of your immediate surroundings, become aware of your surroundings with a sense of touch, sense of hearing, and sense of sight. Okay. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Nizam, even though you're traveling in the midst of traveling.
Punsa, can I
Thank you.
ask something?
Oh, yes.
It's my crazy mind talking to me. I think if Buddha nature can be anything, how can you say that love and bliss is the raw material of Buddha nature?
Yeah, that's next topic.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we're going to that.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay, so Nizam, we have our next topic.
Yes.
Okay.
Of all the things in the universe, why did it choose love?
Yeah.
You know, my crazy mind is telling me if Buddha nature could be anything, then why can't we say that Buddha nature is hell and torture?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what is hell and torture. It's Buddha nature.
Okay.
Okay, let me put it in a very Nagarjuna way. It's emptiness.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Still listening. It tells me thank you. You tell me you're welcome.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, friends.